Munson here on OurNet Interactive with another message. I'm so delighted to have with me today Matt Young, who I believe is in Devon in the UK.
Yes, I am, correct.
In a charming looking cottage, I think.
Well, yeah, it's not my normal surroundings. I'm house sitting for a friend. They've just gone away for a long weekend. I've got 3 dogs and some holiday cottages to look after, so I am being responsible for once.
Well, if I may say so, it suits you, sir. It looks good. It's a fitting backdrop for you. This is Matt Young. In terms of the message here on OurNet, who is this man? Who is his audience? And what is the message? So let's move on to the audience then, Matt. It says in the title there, a message to middle-aged men. Why?
Well, I've been meaning to get a little network, well, a big network, ideally, of middle-aged men together, because I think we are a little bit lost in the world sometimes. I think that, us middle-aged men, we grow up and our responsibilities change. I say we grow up, I use that term loosely. We get older.
Yeah, that's better.
But our priorities change slightly, and of course you're looking after family, you're responsible, you've got a job mainly most of the time, so it's that kind of stuff, and the focus on friendships I think seems to slip away a little bit. Now I see this because I'm very fortunate. I've got some really, really strong bonds with some. I still see some of my primary school friends, despite not living. I live about 250 miles away from there, but I still see some guys I went to primary school with. And I moved to Devon. I've still got I've made some really, really fantastic male friends around here as well. And I'm lucky because I get to, if I've got an issue, I've got a problem, or I just want to have a bit of a laugh and get out of the normal everyday life, I can connect with these guys and we can, go and be children. We can tell dad jokes. We can be silly together and reminisce about the days when our bodies still work. So, and I think it's a little unusual. I think, us men don't tend to keep those relationships that we had when maybe we were at school, maybe as when we were, playing football or some kind of sport, a team sport where we had that camaraderie. And it's that kind of, that network that I want to try and grow again, I think.
Yes, because I suppose on the darker side of it, these are difficult times for men, aren't they? Very high suicide rates, loneliness, or you might have a very functional looking life from the outside in terms of work and everything, but these are tricky times in terms of mental health, aren't they, for men?
They are, yeah, and there is a lot of focus now on that mental health aspect, and I think it's fantastic. It's needed, definitely. I'm no expert in that field. But I saw a great LinkedIn video from this guy. Okay, he's a married man with 2 kids and runs what looks to be quite a successful business. And he just literally put this video out there. I mean, he wore his heart on his sleeve and he said, "I'm lonely." And basically what he meant was that he has no male friends his age that he just hangs out with. He has his wife, perfectly, loves her, fantastic relationship. 2 kids, flown the nest now, have got their own jobs, starting to create their own families. And he's kind of left at home with and he's got his work colleagues as well. And he was saying his work colleagues are really good people, but none of them are those friendships that maybe you've kept over the years, or you try and develop new ones. And this was a video that came out within the last 3 or 4 months. And I've had this idea for probably the last 3 or 4 years. And it's just trying to kind of get it going, really, because and with with everybody talking about mental health these days, and certainly the suicide rates in middle-aged men are our biggest killers, I believe. And if we're not talking to each other, we're not going to be able to open up and seek that little bit of just someone's ear to say, look, this is how I'm feeling. And then if it's needed, you go on to seek that bit more professional help. But if we have those friendships and maintain those friendships, I think that mental health issue is going to be less and less.
Excellent. So totally got it. It's that kind of man that we're talking about as the audience. So specifically then, what is your message to those guys?
The message really, and it's going to evolve along the way. I want to get this community together. I want to get men talking to each other, okay? There are some things I can talk to my male friends that I can't talk to my female friends about. And vice versa, let's be honest. And I'm lucky I've got a good network of female friends as well as male friends. And if I need that bit of advice, there's a guy that runs a business. I need some financial advice. I need some work advice, a bit of mentoring, something like that. And if there's, I've done this, and I'm going to take my girlfriend out or take her away for a weekend. So I'll speak to one of my female friends. What other things could I do? And it is just about getting that network of men together, and just sort of saying, look, it's okay to wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit. I know that there'll be some men that don't want to do that, but even if you give them the community where they can reach out to one person and say, look, I'm struggling with this, or is this common? Health issues, wealth issues, all kinds of bits and bobs. So it's just about creating it. So we're all in there, we're all in this together. And you have that ability to just reach out to that one person that might just be able to help you.
And the message then is like, it is okay to talk, and because to talk, you need the context to do that. So this is the initiative, the project, if you like, is to create those contexts in which it is okay to talk.
Yeah, and like I say, I see it as it's already okay to talk, but that's my nature, and I think I see that in not many other men my age, So it's I want to kind of say that I think life's going all right for me. Let's not be, too hasty, but, I feel in a good place and good relationships and a good working environment. And I think that's because I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm prepared to talk to people and have people and more importantly, listen to people as well. But it's not about me. It's about creating that network. And I'll give you an example. I was very, very fortunate. I went away last weekend, and I actually went to Portugal, funnily enough. And I played a little bit of golf, and there was 82 fellas there, 81 fellas and one woman. And you could just see that this weekend for some of the guys out there was just a release. It wasn't really about the golf. It was about meeting up with all the other fellas. Yeah, and having a few too many drinks, and and again there are issues based around that, but yeah, you could just tell that actually, and there's a Facebook group for all these golf mates, and they've gone in there afterwards, and we've all posted our photos and said our thank yous. And you could I went there doing about 6 of these 80-odd blokes, and came away feeling that I've made good friends with probably another 20 of them, and a bunch of Facebook requests as friends, and it's just that community and that ability to reach out to someone and not be seen as, I need a little bit of help. There shouldn't be a stigma attached to that. It should just be, you're my mate, can you listen? Or actually reaching out and saying, I think how you doing? Just checking in with someone else and making sure they're okay as well.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because it's such an irony at the moment. I totally get what you're talking about. And it's something to do with how talk is cheap, but real conversation, real connection is very precious or priceless. And we live in a world, don't we, where there are so many ways to talk, and people are seemingly saying so much, and yet the profound or deeper connections seem to be quite missing. Why is that? Why is that irony there? Why is there that mismatch, do you think?
I tell you what I think it is, and I'm stealing this from a podcast I listened to recently, and it's the short form stuff. So, here we are with our little mobile phones, and, my world, I work in social media. Okay. So, Twitter, 280 characters. It's fast. It's effective. We can get what we want. We can ask Google. It all comes really fast. And podcasts have started to kind of come into the realm. More people are realizing that there's podcasts out there, and there is a podcast on every topic. And some of them are ridiculous. Some of them are absolutely brilliant. And I'm a massive fan of them. But the stuff that's really starting to stick at the moment is the long form podcasts, where they're over an hour, 2 hours long. And people have been thinking too strategically, right? If I make a podcast, it's half an hour. That's someone's commute to work. Take that out of it. If there's a conversation that needs to be had and it takes 2 hours for a podcast, just put the whole 2 hours out there, because there'll be stuff that's kind of under the surface that you get to in the 2 hours that you won't even scratch in the half an hour. So it's that deeper connection that we need. I think that's what we're missing. Society's quite fast. It's fast moving. There's a lot going on. There's so much information thrown at us. Yeah. And if you could just shut off and have a conversation with someone, sit down with them. I've got 2 or 3 friends that I regularly meet, like every 6 weeks, 2 months. We sit down, we go for dinner together, and we just pour our hearts out, we have a laugh, we take the mickey out of each other, we have something to eat. And actually after that, you then feel like, okay, he's good, he's in a good place, and I've checked in with him. And I want to create a network of people where you say, it's absolutely fine to do that. And the deeper connection comes from spending more time with people.
Yeah, more time, depth. Absolutely love it. So how do people get involved or keep an eye on what you're doing, Matt?
Well, I've got some social media channels set up. They're just very small at the beginning. So if you want to find me on Facebook, it's Middle Aged Man HQ. On Twitter, we are, get this, hang on, I've got to find exactly what the profile is.
Middle Aged Man HQ is funny because it sounds like it's got to be a shed, isn't it, really? But anyway, sorry, go on, your Twitter?
Yeah, no, and I love that, you know, the shed stuff. And, you know, again, it's a community where it's okay to tell dad jokes and stuff like that. And it's okay to, you know, fashion. I'm sat here in a pullover that's warm, you know. It's not really about that for me. But yeah, so middle-aged man, it's _middle-aged man _ on Twitter and on Instagram as well. I've got a website in the making, but it's early stages, so I won't bother giving. I don't even think I've got a proper domain name for it yet. But search out for us and just kind of come and be part of that journey. And it's going to build, it's going to evolve along the way. It's got no strategic plan. I just want to see where people might need the help and how we can get together and help each other. And at the same time, have a laugh.
Brilliant. Love it. Thanks so much, Matt. Really appreciate you talking to me.
Thanks for your time, Cole. Take care.
Bye for now.